Want to stay informed, get educated, and feel empowered? Stay tuned where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
Welcome to Edification, made possible by the efforts of the Center for Democracy and Good Governance, CDGG. The Center for Democracy and Good Governance is a sound organization established to promote and strengthen democracy.
So summer special at Country Cold Store. Get ready to beat the heat with amazing deals on frozen meats and chilled products. Choose from a wide variety of top quality products available at our wholesale department and mini mart. Stock up today and enjoy unbeatable freshness and savings this summer. Call us now for more information at 440-3335. This offer is valid while stocks last.
Need a personal integrity booster shot? Your prescription is right here. Tune in with Eddie Frederick every week. Information is power.
Attention all forward-thinking companies. Sure, you can do with a continuous positive boost to your image and impact your bottom line. If you think training is expensive, try not training and you will experience a perpetual downward spiral in patronage on account of increased dissatisfied customers. Take things into your hands and engage the best at motivation and customer care training with a tried and tested track record. Visit www.efrederick.com now and learn how you can change the atmosphere in your business and improve the customer experience for everyone who does business with you. Spice Island Beach Resort and Belmont Estate are two such local entities of world renown that have benefited tremendously from ongoing customer care, social skills, and motivation training. Training changes everything for the better for any business and every team member. Enhance employee performance through increased awareness and passion for the job at hand. Greater potential in your workforce awaits you through engaged, high-energy training that works. Log on now, www.efrederick.com.
Eddie Frederick has got it all.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Eddie Frederick, where good values make great radio.
Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
Oh, yes, folks, and welcome. Of course, today is the official final day of hurricane season. Thank God we scraped through without any incidents. We solidarize with the people of Jamaica and everywhere else that had, exceptionally inclement weather that caused them some measure of distress. But we thank God that nothing untoward actually did, visit us here in Grenada. So, welcome to Edification 295 on this fourth Sunday, I believe it's the fifth Sunday, of November 2025, which of course speaks volumes in context of how fast this month flew. I remember someone saying November seemed to have started 2 days ago, yet for all we were on the penultimate day, which was yesterday. Be that as it may, folks, it's just a stark reminder of how important it is for us to really take our life seriously, because before we know it, we'll be on the other side somewhere. Our topic for today is ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. Stop biting the hand that either once fed you or is feeding you. As soon as you join us today, remember, folks, share the live. Comment, like, love, react, and interact. In fact, if you notice somebody is missing, you know what to do. Tag them. Give them a reminder. For those of you on YouTube, you can do the same and hit the subscribe button so that you can get your notifications readily. Just a short reminder, I have 2 pages on Facebook, with one of them easy to follow so that you can be notified when our lives are on. Good? So let's get this thing organized here, folks. Let's get started. What does the expression ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft? What does it mean? Too many of our people exhibit ungratefulness, folks, as if it were a badge of honor that they truly benefit from. The ramifications are so severe that ungratefulness is put ahead of witchcraft due to the absolute negative consequences it attracts. Yet for all, so many people proceed to be ungrateful anyway. This is a powerful and provocative topic today, as it has become all too commonplace in our various communities that it discourages genuine kindness. This topic, once put under the spotlight, ought to actually challenge us to move away from that destructive inclination to normalize ingratitude. So, folks, let's just call what I'm going to share today, matter of fact, this segment, the antidote, wisdom for modern life. Why ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. Come on, folks, hit the live, because Grenada has, a lot of us seem to have normalized ungratefulness. And yet for all, we continue to think we should be blessed. We think we should be blessed. We are looking for miracles, not realizing that miracles don't come just so. Miracles are the results of work. You have to put in the work for you to end up getting the miracles you're looking for. So today you're invited to pull up your chair so together we can confront this silent epidemic so prevalent among us. An attitude that's often worn as a badge of honor, but according to an ancient and severe proverb, it is more destructive than one of humanity's oldest fears, witchcraft. Now let that land for a moment. Let it settle. Let it kusume, as we say. In a world where we've largely dismissed the supernatural, this statement jolts us, doesn't it? Witchcraft, spells, hexes, curses. This proverb claims that the simple common act of not saying thank you of taking help for granted, of feeling entitled to the kindness of others is a greater evil? In fact, it's a rare form of contempt. If you come from a culture, be it corporate, familial, or even social, where grinding ambition, looking out for number one, and taking without acknowledgement is seen as smart or strong, this idea might sound absurd. But stick with me. For the next few moments, we're going to dissect this statement, not with superstition, but with brutal psychological and social realism. We're going to uncover why ingratitude isn't a strategy for success. It's a slow-acting poison that guarantees your ultimate downfall as a human being. So how long have you been ungrateful to everyone around you who has been nothing but kind to you? Examine your life and see how blessed you are not. Are you making genuine and acceptable progress while being self-centered and unappreciative of others' kindness towards you? Come on, let's be honest. Do you like where you are in your life currently, while you wallow in the culture of entitlement and thus ungratefulness? I think not. So let's first understand the comparison. Why ungratefulness is compared with witchcraft. Historically, witchcraft represents a malevolent, wicked, in other words, external force. It's an attack from the outside. It's a curse someone puts on you. Ungratefulness, on the other hand, is an internal cancer. It's a poison that you brew yourself. A witch can be countered, their spell broken. But how do you fight an enemy that has already set up camp inside your own mind? An enemy that convinces you it's your ally. An enemy that renders you a candidate that should be rescued from yourself. This is the first ramification. You see, witchcraft is a perceived threat. Ungratefulness is a self-inflicted, serious wound. So let's get factually frank about the benefits of ungratefulness. You think it makes you powerful? Well, let's just audit that for a moment. You get the promotion without thanking the mentor who guided you. You win the contract without acknowledging the team that burnt the midnight oil. You accept favors from family and friends as your birthright. The short-term gain is clear. You get the reward without the social cost. You avoid the vulnerability of saying, I needed help. You feel like a shrewd operator, don't you? You wear your ingratitude like a badge of honor because it makes you feel invincible. But here's the catastrophic miscalculation you're making. You are systematically and irrevocably burning your social capital. You know how many people have burnt their social capital with me? Endless. And they continue to do so because of the color they support politically. Believe it or not, either yellow or green, simply because I don't mince words. You'll be surprised. There's a lot of people who support yellow that have been totally ungrateful to me. There are many people who support yellow that don't like me at all. Hello? You see how consistent I am? Because only consistency could breed that kind of response. But it will breed that kind of response from people on either side of the political divide in this country who do not respect boundaries. And by God, when I establish mine, I guard them jealously. So every time you take without acknowledging and saying thank you, you're not being shrewd. You are sending a clear, unmistakable message to the kind people around you. You are a resource to be consumed, not a person to be valued. And people are not stupid. They might not confront you, but they will quietly, permanently classify you as a liability, which many Grenadians have become today. They will stop offering that extra idea, the crucial introduction, the shoulder to cry on. They will put you on a psychological do not help list. And mine is forever long. Some people can never come back by me for anything. Some of them listening now. Witchcraft might take your health, folks, but ungratefulness, left unchecked, will annihilate your network, the very ecosystem that enables success and survival. You see, this brings us to the second more profound ramification. Witchcraft operates in the realm of the unknown, but ungratefulness operates in the realm of guaranteed cause and effect. If it functions, folks, it actually functions on a simple, unbreakable law. You attract what you are. Think of gratitude as a magnetic force. When you are grateful, you acknowledge the flow of goodness. You signal that you are a worthy receiver of more goodness. You attract givers, creators, and even supporters. I have them, so I can afford to talk about that with confidence. You see, gratefulness is my second name. Folks, I was brought up by a mother who always told her 5 bastard children, the more you genuinely say thanks for, is the more God gives you to be thankful for. That lives with me. And I intend, folks, to actually take it to my grave. I intend to take it to my grave. Ungratefulness does not, well, it does the opposite, a matter of fact. Ungratefulness is a repellent. It tells the universe, the energies out there, the collective of human beings that we all interact with, that you are a dead end. You are no damn good. That's what it tells the universe. You see, energy, help, and kindness go in. But they die there. They're not reflected, multiplied, or even honored. Ungrateful people represent very infertile soil. Why is this worse than witchcraft? Hello? You see, people remember the way you make them feel. And ungratefulness inflicts serious wounds. So it is regarded to be worse than witchcraft because a witch's curse might fail. But the curse of ungratefulness never fails. It is a 100% guaranteed strategy for isolation. It is a self-fulfilling prophecy of scarcity. You act as if there is not enough to go around. And through your actions, you will make that your reality. So what's the antidote? How do you inoculate yourself against this self-destructive poison called ungratefulness? It's not about flowery thank you notes. No, man. It's about a fundamental rewiring of your own perception. You see, firstly, you have to learn to practice relational accounting. This isn't about money. It's about energy. You see, every relationship has a bank account. Kindness, help, and support are deposits. Gratitude and reciprocity are the necessary deposits you make to keep the account open and healthy. Ungratefulness isn't just a withdrawal. It's a massive overdraft fee that eventually closes the account for good. But the second thing is, see acknowledgement as a power move. Hello? The truly powerful are not threatened by thanking others. In fact, it's the ultimate power move. Publicly acknowledging someone's contribution doesn't diminish your success. It proves you are secure enough to lead and wise enough to know you didn't get there alone. It makes people want to help you again. And thirdly, shift from scarcity, that scarcity mindset, to an abundance mindset. The ungrateful person operates from scarcity. If I acknowledge your help, it means I'm weak, and the credit is diluted. The grateful person operates from abundance. There is enough credit for everyone. By honoring your help, I strengthen the alliance, and we all rise together. You see, the ancient proverb is severe for a reason. It's a shock tactic to wake us up. You see, witchcraft is a feared external monster. Ungratefulness is the internal monster that you feed every time you take without thought. Witchcraft might steal your crops. Ungratefulness salts the very earth, so nothing can ever grow again. Folks, the choice is yours, you know. Christmas is coming. You know, many ungrateful people lining up to see what they could get from others. But they will find that there's a scarcity of gifts for them, because the whole year gone and they never said thank you for anything that they received. You can continue to wear your ingratitude as a badge of honor, believing you're winning the game, but you are in truth methodically sawing off the very branch you are sitting on. Or you can choose the higher, smarter law, the law of gratitude. The law that builds empires, forges unbreakable alliances, and creates a life where goodness flows to you and through you, not into a silent, barren void. The proverb isn't just a warning, it's a map. It points the way out of a self-made prison of entitlement and toward a life of genuine, sustained, and shared success. My admonition to you today, folks, is to choose wisely. That's the antidote for today. And if this resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear this hard truth. And that's why I invite you always to subscribe for more wisdom that you can use. Ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. Stop biting the hand that either feeds you or is feeding you. Let's take a little break and we'll come right back with a lot more where this came from. A lot more where this came from.
Want to stay informed, get educated, and feel empowered? Stay tuned, where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
This is Edification, made possible by the efforts of the Center for Democracy and Good Governance, CDGG. The strength of views and opinions expressed during edification are not necessarily a reflection or representation of the sponsors and/or affiliates of this program.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safely and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
To Summer Special at Country Cold Store. Get ready to beat the heat with amazing deals on frozen meats and chilled products. Choose from a wide variety of top quality products available at our wholesale department and mini mart. Stock up today and enjoy unbeatable freshness and savings this summer. Call us now for more information at 440-3335. This offer is valid while stocks last.
You're tuned to Eddie Frederick, where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
Folks, just a little word here of advice. I just was checking my phone here and I saw a notice, and I noticed the Grenada Cooperative Bank sent out a very, very important notice to all customers. If you receive one of these texts from a number, let me get it from the thing here. 1 minute, just give me a quick minute. Yes, if you get a text from a number 1-473-457-1261, you need to ignore it. Listen to the body of the text. GCB Online. Your account has been placed on hold due to unusual activities. Go to, and they say, Grenada Cooperative with the dash in B, Coop, and it's coopibank.com to restore and regain access. Ignore that completely, folks. This is an attempt to hack you. So be very, very careful. If you receive a text from the number 1-473-457-1261, ignore it completely. If you feel a little, nervous about it, make a call to the bank itself or a visit so that you can rest your mind, because this is not good. It's a scam. So watch it. I've just received mine. They probably just reached my name. So they just sent me mine. So watch it, folks. Good. I thought it important enough to share it with you right away. All right. So welcome back. And for those of you just joining, I'd like to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is the final day of the hurricane season. So we enter tomorrow feeling we can exhale and exhale properly. It doesn't mean that we can't get a freak hurricane. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just telling you, officially, the Atlantic hurricane season is over. So welcome back. And for those of you just joining, please hit that share button and let's get some more people in, because this topic is very sexy. A lot of us don't realize why we're behaving as if and we are reaping what we sow. And all we're doing is going around in circles and not making any progress with our life. Costs we have because we are too darn ungrateful. Costs we have so. You get the message? When we don't know how to say thank you and be genuine about it, not hypocritical, be genuine about it, we could never make progress in life. So how does biting the hand that feeds you or has fed you fit into this discussion today? Folks, that's another sassy part. Allow me to elaborate, especially in context of the benefits brought to the Grenadian people in 3 short years by the Deacon Mitchell administration, which saw to it that monies were put in the people's pockets, leaving them to retire much better off today than under the administration that was in office from 1995 to 2008 and 2013 to 2022, which oversaw many people retiring into abject poverty with no pension. Yet several of those same people love that administration and can be seen on social media defending them, and within their various communities supporting activities that are opposed to the government that promised and delivered well to them. If that is not biting the hand that feeds you or has fed you, you tell me what is. You see, this ought to be regarded as a brilliant and specific case study that perfectly illustrates the psychological principles we've discussed. Let's integrate the Grenadian context into the framework of our discourse here today. You see, the phrase biting the hand that feeds you is the literal behavioral manifestation of the ingratitude and, of course, the malice we've been analyzing. People like that cannot be blessed. So stop wondering why they operate as if they have blight. The only thing they can attract is blight, because blight will take up residence with people like that. It's not just passive forgetfulness. It's an active, often aggressive, rejection of a current benefactor. Here's how it fits into the discussion, using, of course, the Grenadian example I alluded to. The psychological and political elaboration. You see, the scenario described where people who are objectively better off under this administration still vocally love and defend the past diabolical administration that oversaw their retirement into abject poverty. Is a classic and potent example of this phenomenon. It seems irrational on the surface, but it makes perfect sense when we apply our earlier framework. You see, the debt of gratitude feels like a cognitive dissonance trap. The past administration, 1995 to 2008, 2013 to 2022, man, for all its failures, this government may not have created a feeling of personal debt in its supporters. The relationship might have been framed as one of shared identity and struggle. We are in this together against the elites. Alternatively, its benefits may have been distributed in a way that felt like a gift between friends or loyalists, not a systemic merit-based reward. Poverty, in a twisted way, does not create a power imbalance with the giver because there was little given. The Deacon Mitchell government 22 to the present. This government comes in and by all accounts systematically puts money in the people's pockets and ensures a better retirement. Folks, I was telling some people just yesterday and Wednesday at a little motivational session that I know 3 people who retired from a government entity, government particular place. They were public servants. They are now collecting their NIS pension or subsidy, whatever you want to call it. And they are collecting the restored pension that is rightfully theirs, constitutionally theirs. And you know what these 3 people told me? when they add the two together, it surpasses their one salary they used to get when they worked, even at their senior positions upon retirement. But they're still young. They still have some juice in them. So what do? They go out and look for a job. And they're meaningfully employed on top of that. And interestingly, they demonstrated something to me. These three people brought me outside in the car park of where we all were and showed me what they are driving today. They could not have afforded to drive those cars when they were working, but they could upon retirement. Their quality of life and their standard of living have improved tremendously, and rightfully so, because they paid their dues. You see, this creates a powerful psychological debt. To acknowledge this benefit fully would be to admit that their previous loyalty was misplaced for decades. This creates immense cognitive dissonance. I am a smart, loyal person, but I supported a government that left me in poverty and now oppose one that made me secure. Hello? If you cannot face that fact and proceed to ignore it, that makes you a person who give life to the saying, ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. I am certain I am not wrong to conclude. Some of you really have cause. So how they bite the hand that feed them? To resolve this dissonance, the subconscious mind does not embrace the new benefactor. Instead, it devalues the new benefit and reaffirms the old identity. And such people are actually saying, we enjoyed the suffering. Give me my money, but let me go back to reverence who had me suffering. That has to be some stupidity, folks. You see, they might say, this new money is a bribe, or it's causing inflation, or it's not enough. Hello? You see, they glorify the past. But the last government built the road, ignoring that they retired with no pension. They are defending their identity and their life's choices, not evaluating policy because of their lack of capacity to so do. The threat to self-esteem and the rescue of identity. Let's just delve into that a little bit. You see, for many, their political affiliation is a core part of their identity, who they are. It's who they are, who their family is, and who their community is. So being saved by the other side is not a victory. It's an insult to their inferior identity. The new government's success is a living, breathing, daily reminder that their team got it wrong. Their self-esteem is tied to their tribal loyalty. Accepting that the Deacon Mitchell government did a good thing for them feels like a betrayal of themselves and their social group. How dunce and depraved, and I might add, oh Gede. So how they bite the hand that feed them? You see, the malicious talk and defense of the old administration, the old corrupt, decrepit administration of the new or the national nasty party is a public performance of loyalty. It's a signal to their in-group. Don't worry, I haven't been swayed. I am still one of you. They are willing to badmouth the hand that feeds them to maintain their standing in their inferior community. You see, the tangible benefit of money is less important to them than the intangible benefit of social belonging and the coherent self-identity. But what about the doormat perception versus the strongman narrative? This is very crucial. The past administration, despite its failures, may have cultivated a narrative of strong, charismatic leadership, even if that strength was perceived rather than real in terms of economic outcomes. People often confuse charismatic authority with competence. A lot hides in charisma, you know. You see, the new government, by focusing on systematic pocketbook issues like pensions, might be framed by opponents as less charismatic, perhaps even technocratic. But how they bite the hand? You see, supporters of the old guard may perceive the new government's tangible kindness as weakness, a bribe for votes. They may see who oversaw their poverty as a more powerful and respectable figure. Hello, or guide. But what does that say about their judgment? They are in effect saying they prefer the style of the leader who neglected them to the substance of the leader who has helped and continue to help them, because style feels like strength to them. And when you call them by their right name, they vex. Dunce. You see, the cycle of dependency was broken, creating resentment. The past administration may have fostered a culture of dependency on political patronage, the treasury, where benefits were not systemic rights, but discretionary favors handed out to loyalists. And mind you, loyalists alone. This creates a powerful, if toxic, bond between Satan and his disciples. You see, the new government, by instituting systemic changes like reliable pensions, attempts to replace this patronage system with one of universal benefit. This can be deeply threatening to those who derived their status and sense of value from being a loyalist in the old, corrupt, decrepit system. So how they bite the hand? By rejecting the new benefits, rhetorically, if even they accept them financially. And defending the old system, they are expressing a perverse nostalgia for the cage. The old dependency was a familiar cage, and the new freedom requires them to stand on their own without the guiding hand of their political benefactor, Satan grandson. You see, this is terrifying, and the malice is a response to that fear. The people described are not acting in their objective material self-interest. They are acting in their psychological self-interest. They are biting the hand that feeds them, not because they're stupid, but because that hand is forcing them to confront a pitiful reality. That their long-held beliefs, loyalties, and identity have most certainly been built on a foundation that did not serve their well-being. So to stop biting the hand and instead shake it in gratitude would require painful ego death and a re-evaluation of their entire political self. But for many, it's easier to malign the source of their current comfort than to face the profound discomfort of admitting they were wrong for the past 20-odd years. So the expression ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft holds here because the past administration's witchcraft was the spell of identity and tribality that it cast over its followers, a spell so powerful that even when it's broken by tangible prosperity, the followers continue to chant the old incantations, cursing the very prosperity that set them free. You call that dunceness overload. You see, the negative consequence is a society trapped in the past, unable to fully embrace a more prosperous future because it is too busy defending the ghosts of its poverty. Ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft indeed. Stop biting that hand that either once fed you or is feeding you. Folks, you see why people have to hide in the dark to throw lash at me? Invented, made up lash. They know who they're hitting or who they are attempting to hit rather. Because look me, I'm out in the open, not a fake profile. Look me here. Come out from the dark. You can't face me. Because you know, we've discovered, folks, a few of them are people who today's topic relates to, and they subscribe to being ungrateful. And ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. But we'll hear a little bit about that when we come back as the program climbs. When we come back, we address this question. Why would people who benefit from someone the most end up bad talking and behaving maliciously toward that kind person? We'll hear some of that. And you know why this subject is very, very interesting to a lot of you outside there right now? You probably never heard these things articulate like this. But I'm prepared to face them. I'm prepared to share them with you. Because you see, authenticity is also my middle name. What you see is what you get. So let's take a little break. Because I'm in an air-conditioned room here and I'm hot under the collar.
Want to stay informed, get educated, and feel empowered? Stay tuned where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
This is EDDIE-FICATION, made possible by the efforts of the Center for Democracy and Good Governance, CDGG. The strength of views and opinions expressed during edification are not necessarily a reflection or representation of the sponsors and/or affiliates of this program.
Hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
country cold store. Get ready to beat the heat with amazing deals on frozen meats and chilled products. Choose from a wide variety of top quality products available at our wholesale department and mini mart. Stock up today and enjoy unbeatable freshness and savings this summer. Call us now for more information at 440-3335. This offer is valid while stocks last.
You're tuned to Eddie Frederick, where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
Oh yes, folks. You know, just even this week, some young people were asking me, Mr. Frederick, where do you get your subject from that you discuss from time to time? Every Sunday you come with a different topic and it seems so interesting. I pay attention. That's my response, I pay attention. I keep my eyes open, folks. I pay attention. Everything I see, I take in. I observe. And you see, from the time I stop all this socializing and friending and all this, distractions, I've become a man who can process, who can analyze, who can sort things out. That time for myself has actually polished the skill of discernment, wisdom. And I speak with the right people. I encircle myself with the right people who can help me grow inside here. Not you said a whole stupid talk, rubbish talk, all dressed up. Nice designer briefcase, nice car, nice office. And when they're dead, nobody remember that they used to work there. Left no legacy. Because all they're fighting is likes. All they're fighting is public approval. But they contribute nothing to society. I don't want those kind of people around me. Those people are energy drainers. So you get your little circle or your little line. Sometimes it's not even long enough to form a circle. It's just a little line. And make sure they are plural in their own rights. And what do I mean by plural? Full of energy, the right energy. Full of the right stuff that can help you grow, develop, and make sure you spend your money, folks, on your home environment so that your place nice and you don't have to go nowhere. You ain't bound to leave the house at all. You get the message? Welcome back. And for those of you just joining, I want you to hit the share button. Let's get some more people in. So why would people who benefit from someone the most end up bad talking and behaving maliciously towards that kind of person? Simply, that has to be a character defect. That could never be a proper person. So here's my take on that question that promises to tackle this uncomfortable truth with factual frankness and entertaining flair. Of course, cognitive dissonance plays a very key role here. So today's podcast, or even, how you call it, whatever, can't get a word now. But today's podcast intends to make the brain of the guilty hurt them with their guilt. You see, why your kindness breeds contempt? Because no good deed ever goes unpunished. When you live in a community of shallow-minded hypocrites, when it is a factory for hypocrites, they should really make a hypocrite spray so that we all could keep it in our house. And if you're as frank as me, when you feel the contempt of hypocrisy around you, you spray them. Because that is so disgusting disgusting. Come on, folks, tighten your seatbelts because you're in for a ride of your life today, as together we seek to dissect the messy, illogical, and downright baffling ways we humans behave. Let's paint a picture. Think of the most generous, reliably kind person that you know. The one who's always there with a meal, alone, a shoulder to cry on. You see, the human equivalent of a Swiss Army knife of support. Now, have you ever noticed a strange, dark little fungus growing around these pillars of kindness? The whispers, the eye rolls, the outright malicious gossip, often from the very people who lean on them the hardest. It's the ultimate head scratcher, don't you think? Why do the biggest beneficiaries of a kind person so often become their worst critics? It feels like a glitch in the human matrix. But I'm here to tell you, it's not a glitch at all. It's a feature, a deeply uncomfortable, psychologically pre-programmed feature. Today, we're going to do a full forensic audit on this phenomenon. We're ditching the platitudes and getting factually frank about why kindness can be a social liability at times. Folks, every time I expatiate like this in my extremely frank manner, I have no choice but to recognize why the guilty among us will never, never, never like me. None of them could be as bold with the truth. And so they would always try to see how they can look for some mud or lolly from the gutter where they currently reside to see if they can throw on me. But thank God none of their nonsense ever sticks. Stick around. This sharing here today might just change how you give and even how you receive. So let us start by sharing, not sharing as much as murdering a sacred cow right out of the gate. The idea that humans are purely rational, gratitude-given creatures is a fairy tale. We are emotional, ego-driven, conflict-averse animals wearing suits of civilization. And when you view this problem through that lens, it starts to make a brutal kind of sense. Your generosity creates a power dynamic, and nobody likes feeling inferior. When someone helps you, they have something you need. That immediately creates a power imbalance. You see, the receiver is a one-down position. And the human ego hates that. It feels like a debt. And as author Robert A. Heinlein bluntly put it, quote, "There ain't no such thing as a free lunch," unquote. That feeling of obligation is psychologically itchy. It's uncomfortable. So how does the subconscious mind scratch that itch? It doesn't settle the debt by being grateful. Oh no, that's too hard. It goes for the nuclear option. It devalues the creditor. Think about it. If the person who helped you is actually a smug, self-righteous martyr who probably helped you just to feel superior, well then you don't owe them anything, do you? Suddenly, that loan they gave you wasn't a lifesaver, it was a power play. That advice wasn't wisdom, it was a condescension. The gossip, the bad mouthing, that's just the public relations campaign that your ego runs to convince everyone. And most importantly, itself, that the debt is null and void. You're not ungrateful, you're just exposing a fraud. It's a brilliant, nasty little piece of mental gymnastics. Which brings us to our next point. Your success is a mirror, and some people can't stand their own reflection from the mirror. This is the ugly side of social comparison. A truly kind and capable person acts as a living, breathing benchmark. Their stability highlights your chaos. Their generosity highlights your scarcity. Their emotional strength highlights your fragility. Every time they help you, it's a silent, unintended reminder that you haven't got your act together. And that, my friends, is a direct threat to your self-esteem, how you feel about yourself. So what's the easiest way to stop feeling bad about yourself? You can't magically fix your life. That's work. But you can try to break the mirror. So you can try to drag them down to your level. The snide comment about their perfect life, the rumor about their hidden flaws, is not just gossip. It's an act of psychological self-defense. It's an attempt to spray paint the mirror so that you don't have to see yourself so clearly. It's the coward's way out of an existential crisis. But what if you, the kind person, are accidentally signing up for this treatment? We'll talk about the doormat doctrine and the brutal difference between kindness and enabling. Now let's turn the microscope on the giver, because sometimes you're not an innocent victim either. Sometimes you're an active participant in your own downfall. Unchecked kindness becomes invisible. It's the law of diminishing returns. You see, the first time you help someone, you're a hero. The 10th time, you're a convenience. The 100th time, you're a piece of furniture. It's basic human psychology. We adapt to consistent stimuli. A constant, predictable source of kindness stops being seen as a special gift and starts being seen as a standard utility, like running water. And when you're a utility, you don't get respect. Look at how Gwenlek and help me, Nawasa. Gwenlek and Nawasa don't get respect. People take them for granted. And if you ever fail to deliver, oh man, the backlash is furious. Gwenlek and Nawasa could tell you about that. Because in their minds, you've turned off the water. You've broken a contract you never knew you signed. This is why setting a strong boundary for the first time often triggers an atomic explosion of resentment. You just revealed that you're a person with limits, not a limitless resource. And this leads to the harshest truth of all. You might not be kind. You might be an enabler. But this is the tough love portion of this show here today. You see, sometimes what we label kindness is actually a covert way of feeling needed and even in control. It's helping that disempowers the other person. It solves their immediate problem, but prevents them from developing the skills to solve it themselves. But sometimes upon realizing this, you have to let go and let them figure it out on their own, regardless of the consequence or consequences to them. You did your part, and none of it was appreciated. So let them go figure it out. You're not wicked, and don't feel sorry for yourself. Cut them loose. You become the crutch, and they never learned to walk. And deep down, on some level, they resent you for it. They resent their own dependency. Your kindness has become a cage, and you're the warden. So, of course, they badmouth you. You're the architect of their helplessness. Their malice is the frustration of a caged animal, biting the only hand that feeds it, because it's the only way to protest the cage. Folks, if this describes a dynamic you're in, you need to ask yourself a brutally frank question. Am I helping for them, or am I helping for me? So where does that leave us? Should we all become cynical misanthropes or pessimists who never help anyone? Absolutely not. The goal isn't to stop being kind. The goal is to be kind, but not naive. Generous, but not used. Here's your action plan, derived from cold, hard psychological facts. Give with boundaries, not from bottomless pits. And no, once in a while doesn't make you mean. It makes you human. It teaches people your help has value and isn't a foregone conclusion. It commands respect. Empower, don't impair. The best kind of help doesn't create a permanent client. It creates an equal. Give a man a fish, he eats for a day. Teach him to fish, and he no longer has to resent you for the free fish. It's that simple. Reframe the insult. Reframe the insult. When you're maligned by someone you've helped, don't internalize it. Hell no. See it rather for what it is. A receipt. You've just received your receipt. It's proof that you presented a psychological challenge their ego could not handle. It's their problem, manifested as ugly behavior, not yours. The world doesn't need less kindness. The world needs smarter kindness. Kindness that respects itself enough to have limits. Kindness that builds others up instead of creating permanent dependence. Kindness that is smart and discerning enough to know who to be kind to. You see, understanding the benefactor backstab isn't about becoming cynical. It's about becoming wise. It is about protecting your light so you don't burn out. Ensuring you can keep shining it for those who will truly value it. Not just use it as a spotlight for their own shortcomings. But that's all we have time for in this cognitive dissonance piece. If this segment here made you rethink a relationship or your relationships, I say good. Now you have data. Use the data wisely. Ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. Please, folks, stop biting the hand that either once fed you or is feeding you. Let's take a break and we'd come back with our final segment. Hey, you know this one is always the smasher because we have to go like this. Oops. So who you ain't see in the room, go give them a call. Go give them a tag. And remember, while we're at this, let me share that number again with you folks. Let me get it from the picture instead. 1-473-457-1261. Do not take any action if you receive a text from that number posing as Grenada Cooperative Bank. To begin with, there's a little difference in the actual address, email address. It says Grenada Co-OPI Bank. You see the little I in the middle there? That's the giveaway. They want to scam you. So study your head. Ignore it completely. It's Christmas time and they're looking for fools. Don't fall so easily. All right, so let's take our final break here and we'll come right back with a lot more. Where I can...
Want to stay informed, get educated, and feel empowered? Stay tuned where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
This is Edification, made possible by the efforts of the Center for Democracy and Good Governance, CDGG. The strength of views and opinions expressed during edification are not necessarily a reflection or representation of the sponsors and/or affiliates of this program.
Hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Summer special at Country Cold Store. Get ready to beat the heat with amazing deals on frozen meats and chilled products. Choose from a wide variety of top quality products available at our wholesale department and mini mart. Stock up today and enjoy unbeatable freshness and savings this summer. Call us now for more information at 440-3335. This offer is valid while stocks last.
You're tuned to Eddie Frederick, where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
Wonderful, wonderful, folks. So we're back, and this being our final segment, it promises to be a little bit lengthy, so bear with me. Folks, I received a very short, sassy, and revealing letter that cuts to the heart of the matter. A matter of fact, the letter even has subject, this person is a good writer. An unfortunate case study. Dear Eddie, when I saw your notice for Sunday's Edification 295, I recalled a particular development that fits into the frame, of your subject. Ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft. Stop biting the hand that either once fed you or is feeding you. I felt duty bound to write to you about a truly fascinating character. Let's call them your former admirer. This is someone who, in their formative years, publicly extolled your virtues and even hailed you as a mentor when your guidance was a lifeline. In fact, that person told me that you helped them legitimize their business and become self-employed. You even helped them get a decent gig abroad, and you were the best thing since sliced bread. The irony is now as thick as their hypocrisy. Interesting Just 1 minute. Right. Having a little technical something here. Sorry about that. Mhm. Finding yourself on opposite sides of the local political divide. This same individual has traded genuine dialogue for a keyboard in the dark. The same individual, now an active participant in a brigade of fake profiles, desperately trying to besmirch your character. A man who genuinely helped them with the kind of unwavering support that you delivered. You know who this person is, and there is no need to go into names. Eddie, this is what is called a master class in moral bankruptcy. I regret to have to categorize this individual for the educational benefit of your audience as a political weather vane. Their principles are not rooted in conviction, but are dictated solely by the prevailing wind. They will cling to you for stability, but the moment the direction changes, they will spin to point an accusing finger, denying the very foundation that helped them stand. Kindly share this at your convenience so that it can be a lesson to one and all. As you often say, people need to pay attention. Spot the weather vanes early. Their gratitude is always conditional, and their loyalty is a rental. Thanks for always keeping it real. Respectfully, you know who. Of course, I know who. Folks, we must pay attention to the people around us. That was the end of the letter. We must pay attention to the people around us. But listen to this. When we had money, they call us wise. When it was finished, they did not get any from us. They call us foolish. We must have had people who later said they were fasting when we needed food. People used our strength to climb. Then they turned around and told the world we never helped them. We were their shelter when it rained. Now they walk past our broken roof. We sold our joy to pay school fees and help others gain the education they needed. Now they tell people we failed as fathers or generally parents. We used to tell people we were strong when we did not know that silence was the strength after everyone leaves. Partners leave when the pot is empty. But what we all should realize is that love too needs food. You see, people don't kill you with guns. They do so with forgetfulness and ungratefulness. Sometimes we wonder, maybe we were not made to be happy. Maybe just useful for a while. But even a broken pot can still catch rain for a thirsty child. That's what should keep us breathing. You see, people generally only remember the giver when their cup is empty. Then they call you weak, forever pouring. But we should all know that our presence is all we have, and we should give it freely, in spite of how ungrateful people treat us. Our just reward always comes from the master of the universe. You see, there's a quote that states, quote, "An athlete won't judge you for working out. A millionaire won't judge you for starting a business. A musician won't judge you for trying to sing a song. It is always the people going nowhere that have something to say," unquote. Grenada is full of such people. They hide behind fake profiles to throw jabs. They are no dissimilar to masked men. A person uses a mask to disguise himself or herself because that person is quite sure the act that he or she is involved in is not something he or she would like anyone to associate him or her with. You see, fake profiles are that mask. Interestingly, these people talk a little too much and feel the people they talk with are really their friends and their friends alone, forgetting that their friends have friends too, and that everybody supports, and not everybody supports their nonsense. You see, one can hide to purchase land, but he cannot hide to work it. As we danced our way to victory, we will be mocked by those who could not hear the music. Even then, we have to forgive and forgive them. God gave us a vision, and it was our responsibility to turn that vision into reality. But he didn't give that vision to our peers or friends or the people standing around us. Only we saw what was possible for our lives. Only we heard the music. And that's the burden of being called. You see, you move to a rhythm the world cannot comprehend. They ridicule what they do not recognize. They fear what they cannot understand. And they doubt what they were never meant to carry. But still, we danced, didn't we? We kept moving, even when the noise grew louder, even when the mockery stung, even when the path felt lonely. Because obedience will always look like madness to those who weren't given your calling. So we must forgive them, for they were not chosen, not because they were right, but because they were never heard. They never heard the song that God played just for us, his chosen ones. We did, and we will and must keep dancing. You see, somewhere on this planet, someone is asking God right now, why don't I fit in? Why am I always the weird one? Why did you make me so different? But you know, God smiled and said, you're not different. You are an original. I made you a masterpiece, not a copy. You do not fit in because you were born to stand out. You may ask again, then why can't I find my own people, my own tribe? Where are they hiding? But you know what God's response to you is? The right ones walk on a higher path. You do not meet them by chasing. You meet them by rising. So rise. But you may ask again, why do I feel so misunderstood? Why do they twist my words? And he must reply to you, you're not misunderstood at all. You're simply surrounded by those who are not meant for your spirit. You need to move. In fact, you are hanging around too many people with extremely low frequency. Move. Change your crowd. It is here, I whispered. Why does my light bother them? And he answered, light shakes what darkness tries to hide. Never shrink yourself. Your truth carries a frequency that pushes away the wrong ones so the right souls can finally find you. Hello? Folks, those words are not mine. They're James R. Ward's words. So if you want to make haters fear you, really fear you, don't argue with them at all. Outgrow them. Take yourself to a higher platitude. Once you have a hater, congratulations. That means you made it. Because haters mean, listen to this, having anger towards everyone reaching success. Having anger towards everyone reaching success. Let me put that in the comment section here so that you can have access to it. You must have access to this because this is just great. Hater having anger towards everyone reaching success. That's what hater means. Now, moving right along. Folks, I want you to make sure you outgrow your haters. Nothing scares a bitter person more than someone they cannot manipulate or control. They may even start to tell everyone you think you're better than others, just because they cannot get close to you, far less to end up being able to control and manipulate you. So here are 4 tricks that I want to share with you that can help you achieve that. Outgrowing haters. Stay unpredictable. Haters feed on your reactions. So when you stay calm, silent, and impossible to read, you become dangerous. They therefore fear what they cannot predict. 2, level up quietly. Nothing terrifies a jealous and envious person more than watching you improve without announcing anything. Your silence becomes your power. 3, show no emotional weakness whatsoever. When negative people realize their words don't shake you, hello, their power dies instantly. A steady mind is the biggest threat of all. And 4, set boundaries without any apology. You don't explain, justify, or even defend. You simply distance yourself. People fear those who don't need approval to move on. You see, the loudest hate always comes from the weakest link. And when they can't kill your light, they form a committee to try. Examine the committee and you will find it is made up of like-minded people who don't even like one another. In fact, you will find failures and charlatans of society, thieves, crooks, cons, harlots, and even kleptos. But what keeps them together is their hate for you. Imagine you are just minding your business, walking your path, not bothering anyone. But somehow behind closed doors, your name becomes a whole topic. That is some power. Imagine this group of people who could not and still can't stand each other for years suddenly unite like soldiers going to war, not against evil or injustice, but against you. Why? Because your existence alone exposed everything fake in them. You all of a sudden become the mirror who showed them who they were not. You did not have to say a word. Your energy said it all, and deep down they knew they could not match your strength. So instead, they tried to break it. You see, when one person holds truth, power, and might, insecure minds don't respond with reflection. They respond with mob mentality. In psychology, it is called group targeting. It usually starts when someone quietly rises above the limits everyone else settled for. That is why you are a chosen one. You didn't just stand out, folks. You rattled the cage they locked themselves in, and they are actually panicking. Panicking. Didn't I tell you ungratefulness is worse than witchcraft? Stop biting the hand that either once fed you or is feeding you. You see, the people in Grenada who are today shouting, our sister party in St. Vincent, SVG, won by a landslide, and considering that an indictment, rather an indication. I'll change what I was going to say. They see that as an indication that change is coming to Grenada when elections are called. They need to up their game and realize that St. Vincent and the Grenadines had an old, stubborn, caustic, and toxic entitled leader, just like theirs, Tropical Trump, the old geezer, that old nastiness, Satan's grandson turned the boyfriend, causing the people to suffer from political exhaustion, and hence they needed change. Even if their national nasty party had sham elections, internal elections, a year ago, their undemocratically selected replacement ain't able and has not been gaining any real traction nationally, with the old geezer always around, calling the shots and pulling her strings. You see, the second important point is that the same so-called pollster who predicted a return of Ralph Gonsalves is the same pollster mama-guying them to believe they are in a great position to replace the incumbent Deacon Mitchell administration come elections. It is important that all Grenadians sit up and pay close attention so they can become enlightened to appreciate face You see, this declared seasoned regional pollster Peter Wickham, you remember what he said? Deacon Mitchell is in a very good position, an enviable position, going into the next general election whenever it is called. So all these fools need to sit up and take note, because a real pollster spoke. Deacon Mitchell is in a very good position, an enviable position at that, going into the next general election. Folks, I may see you put some yellow hearts in the comment section here. Come on, put yellow hearts on blast. Get yourselves together, folks. You see, the following is, I would consider it as entertaining as I am prepared to get on this subject in order to enlighten the Grenadian public via this political commentary titled A Grenadian Political Fable, Mama Guy, Exhaustion, and the Young Prime Minister. So gather round, pull up your chair, let's reason together. Come on, folks. A drama is unfolding across the spice aisle, and it's more gripping than the latest Sukunya story. Our neighbors in St. Vincent just served up a political plot twist that has some folks in Grenada shouting our sister party like they just found a winning scratch and win ticket from Lotto. But before they start measuring the curtains in the ministerial complex, let's break down this story with a little Grenadian flair. The tale of two tired horses. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the people looked at their old, stubborn workhorse of a leader, a beast that had plowed the field for 24 long years, and said, "You're foot tired, old friend. Time for fresh legs." Come on, folks, don't stop putting the yellow hearts. Let's get some interaction as we go. You see, it was a classic case of political exhaustion. The people needed to change, and they got it. They literally went out of their way to get the change they bargained for. Now, some in Grenada are pointing at this and shouting, see, that's our story too. But hold on, not so fast. That's like seeing your neighbor trade in his 1985 Jalopy for a new car and thinking you can do the same when you had to nearly mortgage even your grandchildren. and you already bought a brand new sleek model just 2 years ago. You see, we had our own political exhaustion with a leader who was in charge for so goddamn long. People half expected to see him in history books next to Gary and Blair's. And what did Grenadians do? We didn't just change the driver. We drove the whole old car to the scrapyard and picked a brand new model from a proper sales yard named Deacon Mitchell. Put that in among your pipe and smoke it. You see, the political exhaustion that they're talking about, we already dealt with that prescription. You see the sham internal elections and the puppet shadow? Now here's the real comedy. The party shouting our sister party had their own internal elections a year ago. Let's just say it had all the democratic transparency of a rum shop backroom dice game. What was the result? They didn't so much elect a new leader as they did anoint a let's call her a placeholder. And the real kicker, the older driver, the very source of the exhaustion, is still in the driver's seat, grabbing tight the wheel and taking that vehicle in the direction they feel it should go. Look at what happened when Parliament delivered brand new pickup trucks to each of the 15 constituency representatives of its lower house. Even if the so-called leader of the opposition and the most senior elected MP on that side were part of the committee that decided on such move by the Parliament in order for constituencies to be better equipped to do their constituency work. The old stale fart of an expired political element ranted and raved and misbehaved, if you were, calling all the rest of them on his side to follow suit. You can't claim to be the change when the ghost of administrations past is still haunting the headquarters, calling every shot. The people are not fooled. They see a shadow cabinet led by a shadow. Well, don't talk about the Mama Guy pollster and his crystal ball. This is the best part. The same pollster who confidently predicted that Ralph Gonsalves would cruise to an easy victory in SVG. A prediction that blew away in the wind like a poorly built kite. It's the very same fella who has been whispering sweet nothings in certain airs in Grenada. He's telling them, oh yes, you're looking good. You're ahead in the polls. Victory is assured. This is the political equivalent of the fellas at the corner telling you, buddy, you're still sharp, man. Them girls just don't know a good man. You see, it's a supreme world-class mama guy. You know what's bad? Desperation leads them to believe this quack of a pollster. They're being fed a fantasy by a soothsayer whose last prophecy failed spectacularly. Meanwhile, seasoned regional pollster Peter Wickham, the man who actually knows how to read the political winds, has looked at the landscape and declared that Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell is in a great position. Wickham, we must appreciate, learned from the best, Dr. Patrick Emmanuel, our own son of the soil, Dr. Patrick Emmanuel. So folks, who you go believe? Let's get some vernacular here now. Who you go believe? The man with a proven track record or the one trying to sell you beachfront property in Brooklyn? You know, Brooklyn Air, no beachfront property. The bottom line, in true Grenadian style, Grenadians, we are a smart people. We know when a party is still reeling from that chaos of 2022, licking its wounds, while being totally out of ideas and running on fumes of 2022. We have a young, energetic leader who's building, moving, and shaking things up in spite of attempts at sabotage. You see, the opposition is actually stuck in a time loop led by a ghost with a new mouthpiece and being comforted by a fraudster who could not even predict rain in hurricane season. So when you hear the shouts of our sister party, just smile and say, enjoy the show next door, but our house is still under new management and the renovation is going just fine. As the man Peter Wickham said, Deacon Mitchell is strong. Don't let the mama guy artists tell you otherwise. But before I sign off here today, let me share something with you. Something that I actually picked up on Facebook moments ago, shared by Sawandi Fabio Sam. A matter of fact, this young man is wise beyond his age, just like this other fellow from Carriacou, Alvis Kojo. These are admirable young men that I find wise beyond their age and very authentic, I must say. So I just picked up this thing. The safer hands are trembling. There's a lot unfolding within the National Nasty Party. Well, that's my description, NNP, right now. And the cracks have certainly become crevices. Reports are circulating that some NNP figures are attempting to pressure their own supporters, calling them simply because they attended the NDC last rally at Telescope or showed up at the movement's launch. Imagine questioning supporters about where they stand, or asking people from other constituencies to delete posts expressing their democratic right to support Peter. And when those same people respond on social media, believing who called them was out of place, they're being called back to be asked if they are throwing words. You see, even more concerning, we're hearing that Emma's wife is reaching out to supporters on the movement, seemingly fearful of how these shifts might affect Emma politically. It's clear that the NNP has lost and is continuing to lose significant ground, especially in St. Andrew and St. Patrick. People are tired of intimidation, tired of pressure, and tired of politics that treat supporters like property rather than citizens with a voice. Grenada has changed since June 2022. People are choosing hope, freedom, and a style of politics that respects them. Just aside, the brother of Machine is known to be upfront in the movement. So former NNP supporters are asking why she calling them and not her brother. Charity begins at home. You see, the other thing is, Emma is not making any traction nationally and have to fight for her seat. People from Telescope either riding off to the sunset with the NDC or the movement and away from Emma. NNP, nothing, zero. Folks, that has to be calamitous, don't you think? Well, you will see how the fake profile brigade will ratchet up this coming week. Folks, you must check them out, you know. Every time one or two faces that you know, and people who are posting legitimately, post in favor of the National Nasty Party, you see all the fake profiles gathering below them to respond. Save and except for maybe 4 or 5 real people. Real people. The rest, joke day, fake profiles. Folks, I'm in, I'm out, and I'm gone. Thanks for joining. Continue to share. See you next week at the same time, God willing. Same place for more extraordinary programming. Until then, I beckon you to stay safe, stay well, remain vigilant, and stay lifted. Stay focused, please. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Just type in my name, Edward or Eddie Frederick. Subscribe, like, and share. And be prepared to receive your mental multivitamins as directly as I deliver them to you. Folks, we had a wonderful time today, didn't we? Come on. Signing off now. Have a great, great, great week as we enter December tomorrow. Favorite month for festivities. It's the Christmas month. So let's go in placidly to enjoy our Yuletide season when it begins. So peace and blessings to you, and take good care. For those of you who joined today, thank you for your loyal followership. For those of you who were not able to make it live today, I still thank you in advance because I know you shall be joining soon. My karaoke posse, for the most part, were not able to be on today because Grenleg did serve some notice up there that electricity would have been off from 8 or 6 this morning, I believe, till 6 this evening, 12 hours, because they're doing some new transformers in karaoke. Grenleg is upgrading, and rightly so. So, folks, take care of your wonderful selves. And just remember, plug into some authenticity so that you too will stop subscribing, if even it is just by a little bit. Just discontinue subscribing to Ungratefulness because it is worse than witchcraft. Stop biting the hand that either once fed you or is feeding you. Take great care of your wonderful selves, and all the best. Cheers.
Want to stay informed, get educated, and feel empowered? Stay tuned where information is power.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
This has been Edification, made possible by the efforts of the Center for Democracy and Good Governance, CDGG. The Center for Democracy and Good Governance is a sound organization established to promote and strengthen democracy.
So summer special at Country Cold Store. Get ready to beat the heat with amazing deals on frozen meats and chilled products. Choose from a wide variety of top quality products available at our wholesale department and mini mart. Stock up today and enjoy unbeatable freshness and savings this summer. Call us now for more information at 440-3335. This offer is valid while stocks last.
Need a personal integrity booster shot? Your prescription is right here. Tune in with Eddie Frederick every week. Information is power.
Attention all forward-thinking companies. Sure, you can do with a continuous positive boost to your image and impact your bottom line. If you think training is expensive, try not training and you will experience a perpetual downward spiral in patronage on account of increased dissatisfied customers. Take things into your hands and engage the best at motivation and customer care training with a tried and tested track record. Visit www.efrederick.com now and learn how you can change the atmosphere in your business and improve the customer experience for everyone who does business with you. Spice Island Beach Resort and Belmont Estate are two such local entities of world renown that have benefited tremendously from ongoing customer care, social skills, and motivation training. Training changes everything for the better for any business and every team member. Enhance employee performance through increased awareness and passion for the job at hand. Greater potential in your workforce awaits you through engaged, high-energy training that works. Log on now, www.efrederick.com.
Eddie Frederick has got it all. Inspiration, motivation, great advice, and biting opinion pieces as only Eddie Frederick can deliver. Eddie Frederick has got it all.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.